Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place for another extreme grocery budget challenge. Now today's challenge is coming to you from Yulara, which is the small town just outside of the Uluru-Katajuda National Park. So this is very much in the middle of Australia, and to be honest, there isn't a lot around here. In fact, I think the closest next supermarket as far as competition and all that sort of stuff goes is about 3 or 4 or maybe even 500 kilometers away in Alice Springs. So this is a small tiny little IGA out in the middle of nowhere, big tourist area, and the prices were a little bit challenging to work with. But I think that I have come up with a meal plan. We're going to do a breakfast, a lunch and a dinner. I'm going to get 6 serves out of each one of these. So if it's one person, that would be 6 days. If you're a family of 3 like we are, it's going to give you 2 days. But you guys, you know how this works. This is a challenge. It's a little bit of fun, and it's just to see what we can do on a budget. Let's get a little bit creative and see what we can come up with. So let me turn this around and I will show you what I picked up today for just over $30. I will just say my initial goal when I went in was to do an extreme grocery budget challenge with a budget of $25. But I also didn't want to replicate meals that I've done heaps and heaps. That was a little bit challenging to come up with something new and different, but also to stick within that $25 budget. I ended up going a little bit over and spent $31.05. But I think all things considered, I haven't done too badly. Now, if you have not actually been out to Yulara and seen the supermarket, let me just paint the picture for you. I did not get to actually film in there because it was far too crowded. Very busy tourist area, itty bitty tiny little IGA. So lots of people squashed in there. There wasn't a lot of room to film. There was also not a great deal of foods to choose from. They really only had maybe 1 or 2 different brands of things. Sometimes it was just one brand and one price, and that was it. So I couldn't shop around a lot. I didn't have a lot of choice, and as far as going for cheap, relatively healthy options, there were very few and far between. The frozen food section itself was one small freezer. It was maybe a dozen products in there to choose from, and some of them were potato chips. So as you can imagine, did struggle a little bit in that department, but have come up with a couple of meals that we're going to make. They are relatively budget friendly, even considering where we are. And I hope I've got some new ideas for you guys who've been following along and are watching these little challenges for a while. Hopefully something you haven't seen me do before. So let's turn this around and I'll show you what I picked up from Yulara today for $31.05. And this is my little grocery haul. So I'll just quickly show you guys my receipt and then we'll go through and I'll tell you guys what I am thinking. So the total was $31.05, like I said. And so what we've picked up is a bag of quick oats. That was $1.65. I have picked up a whole bag of Fuji apples. They were $4. I also opted to grab some pine orange juice. It was a little bit more expensive than the milk, but I'm thinking about doing something a little bit different for breakfast. So that was $4.60. Frozen veg, I've grabbed a packet of chopped spinach. That was 95 cents. I have a head of broccoli. That was $10 a kilo. So my one head of broccoli there was Oh, $3.25. Not too bad. I do have 2 packets of pasta. They were $1.30 each. No Community Co brand or black and gold rice, so my next best bet was the sunrise, which was on special this week. So that was $2.65 for a kilo of white rice. I grabbed some mushrooms. There's 4 large mushrooms in there. They were $15 a kilo, but only grabbed 4, so that it ended up being $2.60 in mushrooms. I have picked up some mild salsa, and the Doritos brand was actually on special and cheaper than the home brand, so I grabbed that one for $2 something or other. And then I've grabbed a tin of Campbell's condensed cream of mushroom soup for $2.60 and some cannellini beans for $2.60 as well. So that is my entire haul. Now let me show you what I'm going to do with it. Before we do jump into today's video, I just wanted to say that if you have clicked on today's video because you or somebody that you know is struggling with food insecurity, then please reach out to the organisations in your area for help. That is what they're there for. If you are in Australia and you don't know where to turn for help, there is a website that has been set up to put people and organisations in touch with each other. It is called Ask Izzy, and it is a great place to at least stop, have a look and see what resources are in your area that could potentially help you. And as always, please do not feel bad or ashamed reaching out and asking for help. That is what these organizations are there for. And if you are in need, now is the time to reach out and ask for help. All right, breakfast and snacks for 6 serves. I'm going to do sort of a bircher muesli. This is not a traditional bircher muesli, I understand that, but I'm going to take some quick oats. I'm going to grate up 3 of these carrots. Carrots. Oh, that would be nice. I'm not using carrots, I'm using apples. There's 9 in this packet. I'm going to use 3 apples to do 6 serves of breakfast, and then I also have 6 apples left over as a snack. And for the liquid, I'm using pine orange juice, pretty much because this was all that was really available in an actual juice. The rest of it was all fruit drink, and I didn't really want to do that. So that is the plan for breakfast and snacks. And also, this is usually about the time when somebody will jump in the comments and say something about me always cooking with oats. And to that, my simple reply is, I like oats. I'm the one who has to eat this food, so I'm going to cook things that I like to eat. If you guys are watching this video, I hope that it's for a little bit of entertainment, maybe some different ideas. Maybe I've just come up with something that you might get a little bit of inspiration from, but I'm not telling anybody that they need to eat this way or they should eat this way. We do these challenges for fun. It's a great way for me to be creative, but it's also a really good way for us just to save a little bit of money in a creative way. So that's the reason why we do it. The reason why I share these on YouTube when I make these videos is because I have found people in the past have said that they've enjoyed it, they've found it entertaining, maybe picked up a few good ideas, and will take the things that I'm doing and sort of implement them into their own cooking styles and ways to save money and all that sort of stuff. But at no point am I saying that people need to eat like this, and at no point am I saying that you have to follow all of my meal plans to a T. Guys, that's not how it works around here. You should know that, but I thought I'd just pop in here and just let you know. Grab some ideas if it works. If not, hopefully be entertained. If not, it's okay to scroll on and watch something else. But for me, I really like oats. So we eat a lot of oats. Even when we're not doing extreme grocery budget challenges, we still eat a lot of oats. So you're going to see a lot of oats here because we think oats are good. Anyways, let's do breakfast. All right, we're going to start by grating up the apples. So that's 1 apple grated up. What I'm going to do is make 2 serves at a time, and I'll do it 3 times. So that'll give me my 6 serves. So for every 1 apple, I'm going to add 1 cup of oats. And 1 cup of juice. You give that a good mix, just with a fork. Stick it in the fridge overnight and let it do its thing. Okay, and this is our overnight oats after it's been in the fridge overnight. So I'm going to dish this up and get it into a bowl, but that's pretty much it. Lunch on the go. Now, I will also say that lunch and dinner can be interchangeable. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just doing the rice meal for lunch. If you want to do it for dinner, go for it. So this is just really quick and easy, very, very lazy rice and beans. So I'm going to cook up some of the rice, and then basically the cannellini beans, the salsa, and half of the spinach is going to go into a pot, cook that all up, and then we'll just dish up a little bit of rice and a little bit of beans mix, and that's going to be lunch. Pretty quick and simple, but sometimes that's good when you're out and about and you're busy. All right, so I'm going to batch cook all of the 6 serves of the rice dish that I'm going to do for lunch. So I'm going to cook this rice according to the absorption method, which is pretty much always the same, but just check the back of the packet if you're going to do this at home. So I'm going to do a 1 to 1.5 ratio. So 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. I'm actually going to do 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water. I'm going to get that going in my big pot. So while the rice is cooking over here in a separate pan, all I'm going to do is rinse and drain the cannellini beans. I'm going to get them in, dump in the salsa, and half of the bag of chopped spinach. All right, and there's our rice. Just gave it a bit of a fluff with the fork, and our bean mix over here. So we'll get this into some plates. And there we go. Quick, easy bowl of beans and rice. And dinner is going to be a Cheats mushroom stroganoff on pasta. So I actually did grab 2 bags of pasta. So we're gonna have lots of pasta. The sauce is just a condensed cream of mushroom soup. And to that, I'm going to throw in our mushrooms, all of the broccoli, and the other half of our packet of spinach. All right, I've just started by prepping all of my veggies. So that's the whole head of broccoli and the 4 large mushrooms. I'm going to start browning the mushrooms while the water comes to the boil to cook the pasta. I am only going to cook 1 packet of pasta tonight, so it's going to give us 3 big serves in 1 packet, and I'll reserve half of the sauce that we make, and I'll use that when I cook the 2nd packet of pasta. And because I'm not cooking with oil, I am just going to use a little bit of water every time I start to see that little bit of charring, just to get those sugars up off the pan and back onto our mushrooms. Now we like our mushrooms cooked so they're nice and crispy, so I'm going to give these a couple more minutes so they are nice and crispy just to our liking, but you cook your mushrooms how you like them. Once the mushrooms are cooked, get those out of the pan, and I'll start cooking off the broccoli. So I'm going to start by cooking the stem of the broccoli first. Make sure to use everything, nothing goes to waste, but I'm going to give this 5 minutes and cook this off a little bit, again with just a little bit of water until this is starting to soften. Once the broccoli stems have softened, it's time to start making the rest of the sauce. So I'm going to add the entire can of condensed cream of mushroom soup plus half a can of water, maybe a little less. I'll reserve just a little bit and see how we go. You can always add a little bit more if we need to. Just going to start mixing this together, and then I'm going to add in the other half of the packet of frozen spinach, which will start defrosting in there, and the rest of the broccoli. Now, if you do happen to have some herbs and spices and condiments and things on hand, you could look at adding a little bit of paprika, some garlic and onion powder if you'd like to, and the other thing that works quite well, weirdly enough, is a splash of soy sauce. Now if you don't have any of things, don't worry, it's going to be yummy and mushroomy just the way that it is. But if you do have a few extra bits and pieces in the cupboard and you would like to use them, you can go ahead and put in a sprinkle of paprika, probably half a teaspoon, same with your garlic and your onion, and a teaspoon of soy sauce. If not, now we just want to mix our veggies in, make sure it's all nice and coated. I'm going to let that broccoli and spinach cook down a little bit while we start with the pasta. So once our water is boiling, we're going to go ahead and cook the pasta according to the packet directions. In this case, it's 10 minutes. I'll let that come back to the boil, then I'll turn it down and pop the lid back on. Now it's time to put our cooked mushrooms back in. Once the pasta is almost cooked, I'm actually going to just take a little bit of that pasta cooking water with all those starches, and I'm going to add that to our sauce. Take maybe 1/3 of a cup and mix it through, and what that actually does is it helps the sauce stick back to the pasta. Once the pasta is cooked, go ahead and drain that, and then we're going to dish up. So I am going to reserve half of this sauce and cook the second bag of pasta separately. So we'll get 3 serves out of this one, put half the sauce away, and then all I have to do is cook the second bag of pasta and the sauce is ready to go. And there we are, all plated up. And there's 3 pretty big serves for us, just to show you guys how much we've got left over. There is actually still a little bit more pasta if anybody wants to come back for seconds, no dramas. And we've still got all of this sauce left over, so I'm going to pop the rest of this in the fridge after dinner, as long as nobody else is still hungry. And there's definitely enough there for another meal. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with us at our place. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, if you could please give it a thumbs up, I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you'd like to see more of. And if you would like to see more stuff like this, then I do hope you consider hitting that little subscribe button down below. It is the best way to be notified of my new content when it comes out, and I do have heaps of new stuff in the works for you guys. Well, I hope you are having a fantastic week, and I do hope to catch you in my next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Bye.